Hello, this is David Cobriana. I'm fixing to start reading the second chapter. I did promise the only one that really sucked was the first one. So, ignore the image, it's completely unrelated. I'm just too lazy to do this. I'm doing it on my phone, so deal with it. For Love of Evil by David Cobriana, Chapter 2. This chapter might suck a little bit too, but fuck it, the whole thing might suck. I love it though, because I wrote it, so, man. Anyway, here we go! He does not know how to treat this. He understands the theory behind dreams, but it's never dreamed himself. He found himself in a long abandoned castle. Its walls were ancient and crumbling. Whatever furniture remained was unidentifiable. Its stained glass windows, mostly shattered. Beautiful tapestries, now tattered scraps upon rusted beams. He wandered the labyrinthine halls, lost within the castle, but happy, for whatever reason, to be there. He lost all track of time, his attention on every detail of the ruined castle. Every once in a while he would hear something, or thought he did, calling his name, seemingly urging him in some direction or another. The voice, if it were real, was familiar to him. It's gentle and soothing. It was gentle and soothing, kind and affectionate. It was also strained, as if it took a great deal of effort to say his name, as if raptured in fear. Is that the right word? Anyway. Steadily, the voice became more frequent and much louder. It became more frantic, its already high pitch rising further. After another few minutes, he found himself at a large, ornate door, still perfect within the castle ruins. The voice was screaming now, begging him to hurry, but as he moved to open the door, he startled awake into a round room. It had two circular windows, a wide bed, and a traditional cottage door. He did not remember last night's events, but knew exactly where he was. Fluttershy's house. He looked around once more, this time seeking that yellow mare. Slowly the events of the night came back to him, and his muscles slowly relaxed. I had permission to sleep here, he thought. She didn't scream in terror at my presence. But where is she now? He slowly rose to his feet, thinking about where the pony would be right after sunrise. She was most likely feeding the animals around her cottage. Almost a whisper, he hears her humming through the now open window. Out of habit, he became a butterfly and flew out that window, following her voice. He found her in the meadow surrounded by trees, feeding some squirrels. He reverted back to himself and approached her. The animals, seeing him, fled to the tree line. He let them go, knowing they act on instinct, and anything he tried to do would only terrorize them more. He walked to her slowly, still expecting the other element bearers to jump from the tree line and imprison him once more. Hey, Discord. I cannot do her voice. Came her melodious voice over the gentle autumn breeze. It seemed to caress his malformed body, reaching even his tail. God, his porn, I swear. Her voice. It always found its way into his head, through the countless voices screaming for some form of chaos. When she spoke, they all fell silent. Every facet of his attention focused on her. He wanted her to talk forever. He, in his most basic form, wasn't chaotic. In fact, he himself was bound to order. When his race still existed, he was the oddball, the only being of order in a race of chaos seekers. The Draconic also weren't immortal. They only lived about 1,000 years. But in an attempt to banish discord from their land, now known as Equestria, gone bad. That does not look right. Every Draconicus in the world was fused into him. This gave him unrivaled power, a seeming of immortality, and a multitude of voices constantly screaming in his head. He had long since found it easier to appease the voices than attempt to ignore them. When they were silent, he felt his loneliness and a profound depth. At the same time, though, he felt free. Even when she was silent, they were quiet whispers as long as she was near. "Hello, Fluttershy. I do apologize for scaring your friends away." "Oh, it's all right. They'll be fine." "Ah, what music," thought Discord. "I would like to thank you for letting me experience both sleep." Discord. "I would like to thank you for both letting me experience sleep and dreams. I haven't had them in centuries. Now I don't want to bother you anymore, so I'll leave you now. Goodbye, Fluttershy." As he turned to leave, she said, "Wait, you can stay if you want. I could use the company." "But what of your friends? They don't exactly like me." "Let me get to know you. I want to be your friend." He was startled. No one had ever said that to him before. I've never had a friend before. I don't know how it works." "It's really easy. Just try it. Come over here and lay down. Talk to me. Tell me about the real you, not the spirit of chaos or whatever." He walked over and curled up under a large tree. She followed, laying on her side, facing him, her head resting on his tail. Why already? It makes no sense. Her touch sent a warm, fuzzy feeling through his body. To him, both an awkward and exciting moment, and that spurred him to speak. "I was born in those mountains over there about 6,000 years ago. My parents were named Chaos and Mischief." God, I hate their names. He continued up to the point of the genus spell. Here he paused, curious of how to explain it. "They tried to cast an extremely complicated spell that would forbid me from approaching another Draconicus ever again. But the spell backfired, and now I have all their power, their lifespans, and their accursed voices in my head. I have found it easier to give in to their chaotic nature than to try to remain ordered as I was." That is the story of Discord, the last of the Draconiqui. He stopped talking, but kept watching the clouds. She was silent for a while, digesting the information. After a long, quiet moment, she spoke. "So, it's their voices? They make you do chaotic things?" "As far as I can tell, yes, but I can't hear them around you. I wonder why." He trailed off. Suddenly she jumped up. "Promise me you'll stay right here. I'll be right back." "Remember, you promised." "I did. And I will stay. If you will stay until I fall asleep." "I will." "Can you sing to me? I find your voice to be incredibly relaxing." I can hum." "Deal." Not long after she started humming, he was asleep. God, this sucks. Anyway, some words. And picture. Yeah, that sucks. Even I think that sucks. And I drew it. Look how lazy that leg is. Look how small his body is. I did really good drawing the pony, in my opinion. I mean, I suck at drawing things that aren't, well, porn. That's beside the point. Now, if this right here doesn't look like a fucking porn quote, "Let me show you love," I don't know what is. Anyway, this is kind of inspired by Disney Fanatic 2314 or something like that. It's Disney Fanatic, you know, the Brad Discord series. By the way, if you watch this, God damn, I love that shit. It's amazing.